Welcome back. Get ready to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, Taylor Floyd Muse.
And I'm Keegan and Taylor.
What's good? How's that table working for you? You comfy over there?
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
For those of you watching on YouTube, we have made a set with air quotes, a set for us to sit on. So we look a little bit more, I don't know, legit, if you could say that.
A little bit, yeah. It's a lie to make ourselves more legit. It's a fake table.
So did you hear that Travis Scott had a little concert probably like 4 minutes ago in Fortnite? It ended 4 minutes ago.
I mean, usually I have like a filter on any Fortnite news, so I did hear about it though, and I mean, it's a no-brainer marketing wise. I mean, I'm sure they're taking a hit on users. I really wish I could find out what like the stats are on Fortnite's like per day plays or anything like that, because I'm sure with like Warzone and all the different ones coming out that they have to be taking a hit on like popularity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are. I'm sure you can find like some sort of daily play things, but it's still pretty widely popular. Like when I go on Twitch, it still has a consistent like 100,000 viewers, and it's like part of the Big Ten, we'll say. But like they're definitely looking for stuff to bring people back because of those games you just listed. So for them to bring like a very popular music artist in, and like they put his actual avatar in the game and then just despawned everybody's weapons and stuff and then funneled them down into an area, and then it was just a giant Travis Scott like with a few of his songs and then like a bunch of really cool animations. So I thought it was pretty cool, but I expected it to last more than 15 minutes. Like I was watching it on Twitch and I'm like, wait, it's done already?
That's interesting. And like I was wondering if like how they were gonna handle the guns in the game, and like is Travis Scott's character killable? Like what are we doing? Can you kill other people? But that makes sense what they did. It's just I wonder how they like capitalize that. Like, you know, like it's like what, like 5 minutes of a concert or whatever, or 10 minutes. And I'm sure they funneled a lot of money to make it happen, buy the rights. So like, are they equating that to like how many people are in the game prior to the concert happening as capital to why? I don't know. It's just interesting how that marketing works. But
yeah, I don't really know, but I know that Fortnite makes a ridiculous amount of money. So for them to just buy the rights for him to come on for like 4 songs, like he didn't even have to like go anywhere. Like that's the thing. I also was like, maybe Travis Scott is gonna
do anything.
Yeah. Like I was like, maybe Travis Scott's gonna be in the game doing stuff because he plays Fortnite, and like I didn't know how that was gonna work, but it was just like a recorded. I guess it's not because it's playing live to a bunch of different servers, but like they just channeled the event the same way they've done other events in the past. But this is coming from both two people that don't play Fortnite. So like we're over here like from the outside, like this kind of stuff might have happened before, but this is the first one I've watched in a while. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool.
But like my problem with this is like it literally has nothing to do with Fortnite. A lot of the other events that we like contributed into like seeing what happens contributes to like the next season or like the next main event or like the crack in the sky or whatever. This just has like we just wanted to do a thing and we did it. So quarantine up.
Yeah, this is, you know how like they'll have endorsements in other advertisements, like this is their way of doing that without having to buy a commercial. But to be fair, I heard a Spotify advertisement, like somebody who didn't have premium, like I heard an ad come on and it was like Travis Scott playing in Fortnite, and they were advertising it like that, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. But they did a similar thing with Marshmello, and Marshmello plays Fortnite too. So they're just finding like musicians that people like that play Fortnite, and they're just like putting them into the game. Now, I didn't watch the Marshmello one, but from what I saw in the Twitch chat and the streamer that I was watching, they were like, yeah, this was way better. So I think their like production value like shot up because they actually seemed to spend time on it. But it was nuts.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, they have to really keep pushing what they do there because I mean they've been kind of coasting on their events lately. I mean, I guess they are implementing like Deadpool and X Force next, right? In Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah,
But like,
Deadpool I think is already in the game. I don't know about the rest of things.
I'm just like, I haven't been in the game in so long. Have they like added new maps or anything like that, or is it just still the same?
Uh, I
Same
don't
old, same old.
technically know the details of like if they. I think they like. Remember when Fortnite went down and like it was like the old CRT TV looking thing, and everybody's like, "Why is this hole here? Like, what happened to the game?" Like, I think that's when they reset, and then like they just like changed the way majority pieces of the map looked. So like it's not like PUBG where you have like multiple different maps to play on. It's like they just completely redid big portions of it. And from what I've seen like on my feed, I'll always scroll past something that's like, "Oh, Fortnite added like these new like items, like different ways to move around or like vehicles or just like things to do in game." And I don't know. Like there's so much that I haven't participated in because I haven't played the game in so long. But one thing I did find really fun is they added like more offline, or not offline, but like private modes. Like they had creative mode and stuff, but they added stuff like team deathmatch, or people do things called box fights. And this is old news to a lot of Fortnite players, but I played recently. I say recently, it's probably like in the last month or two, with some friends in these box fights, and you just like spawn with like 2 different weapons and health potion, and you just like have unlimited mats, and then you just run around and like just it's 1-on-1 or like free for all with like up to like, I don't know, let's just say 6 people, but like we were only using 3, and that was pretty fun because like I don't have to like get all sweaty trying to play against these 12-year-old kids that are like insane at building when I just don't have the patience to learn. Like, I don't know.
Get all sweaty.
Yeah, I mean like you know that term though, like when you try hard, like you're a sweaty player. But it's like also true because if you're going hard playing a game, like you start to sweat.
Dude, like non-video like gamers are like, what do you mean sweaty? Like like it's definitely, I feel like not a lot of people really realize that that's really the thing. That's I can't have like leather chairs because of that. Like if I have a leather chair when I'm gaming, my whole back is just drenched.
I mean, that happens to me even if I'm not gaming. Like leather just doesn't work well with me. But yeah, when you are gaming, like it's funny being a PC gamer because you move the mouse around more. So my actual arm is moving back and forth, and I play with a low sensitivity, so I move farther to go like move my mouse across the screen. And like that will induce some sweat if you're playing for extended periods. But like playing on the controller, people are like, "What do you mean sweaty? Like you're not moving." But like you always know that gamer stance where it's like people lean in when like you knew it. You like they lean in as soon as you go to try hard, and then like people get active, they yell, they like jump up, they get into it, dude. So like it's physical activity, like the minimal you can do to sweat.
Dude, I can't play console gaming like laid back on the couch.
Competitive
like,
stuff, right?
Even if it isn't, like if it's just like an RPG or like something story based, I can't like be relaxed and play. I have to be like up, like posture up. Like I can't even be at the couch. Sometimes I have to sit on like the ottoman because it's a little bit closer to the TV and just be like in it.
Yeah, to be fair, your couch is far away from your TV, like especially for gaming. But hold on, are you playing Animal Crossing in gamer stance where you're like forward going hard? Because that's where I'm like, that game is so relaxing, chill. Like you should be like tucked back in your couch kind of thing.
Nah, I only play Animal Crossing at like when I'm about to go to bed. Like right before I go to bed, I just like pop it on and play.
Well, that's also not really great because like you're missing all the shit that spawns during the day. Like you're only signing on when the shops are closed, when like the everything is gone, like nobody's
I mean,
out.
it's not the main time I play, but it's like like if I had to say when the average time I play is I play the most when I'm laying in bed. I'll like log on for like lunch time, like when we're watching like an episode of something Netflix. I'll play that, get my daily bonus or whatever, and do things for like
Oh, you're
30 to
doing
40
that now?
minutes. But like,
You're getting the bonus?
yeah, finally. Um, one thing like with the Switch, like I've noticed that like I can't play it in bed as much as I thought I could.
It's
Like there's a really
uncomfortable to hold it
it's
up.
super uncomfortable. Like doing this, then your arms asleep, and then
Yes.
if you do like the pillow where you're like your hands are underneath the pillow, you're using that to like I don't know, put like your chest on, so you play like that way.
Mm-hmm.
Then like your whole like neck hurts because you're like doing this. There's not
Dude,
a really great way to play the Switch in bed.
the Switch is not ergonomic for handheld, and also the fact that the controls are on the outside of the screen. I don't like that anymore because like
Yes.
I don't know, it feels weird. And the little Switch, the Switch Lite is a little bit better just because it's like closer together. But I saw someone, it was like a Kickstarter, and you know like how they have those phone holders for your controller, so it clips your phone on it. They do that for the Switch,
Yeah.
so you
I
can
saw
use your
that.
Pro
I saw
controller.
that.
And I honestly kind of want to
But-
get one because I prefer playing with the Pro controller, and then that way like I can keep my hands together and not have to go like this in the bed and like hold it down. It'll be a little bit easier, but I don't know. That's kind of chunky, so
And
it's not portable.
to be fair, like another thing that the Switch kind of struggles at when you're in bed playing is if you have a significant other in your bed, that console is loud as
The
fuck.
clicks, bro! Oh my gosh, that thing is like tick 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 tick. Oh my gosh, dude! That's why I want to get that thing because the Pro controller is quiet.
I would think I'm being discreet. I have the brightness all the way down, the volume's off. But man, if I'm playing like Enter the Gungeon or something, it is super loud. There's
You out there just
getting
getting
around
after
that.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Your wife's a light sleeper too, right?
Yeah, a bit. Like the brightness alone of the Switch woke her up. Like I was trying to readjust, so I went.
That's tough.
So like, like how like you'll like try to swap from going from like this to like going to side
Mm-hmm.
on your like left side. I was like, oh okay, I'll do that, and then not thinking about the brightness, just like going over my shoulder. And she's like, Keegan, it's too bright. It's also 2 a.m.
That's tough.
So
my girlfriend can sleep through anything once she's actually asleep. So like I'll have to be quiet while she might be falling asleep, but then after it, she's knocked out. It's like, all right, get after it, dude. I don't have to worry about anything.
I will say I want to try the Switch Lite, but even if I liked it, or even if like I wanted to get it for my wife so she could play Animal Crossing, where are you gonna buy a Switch these days?
Dude,
The stupid toxic.
Oh my! All right, hold on. Did you hear what the cause of the Switch shortage is? It's not the coronavirus, and it's not the fact that everybody wanted to play Animal Crossing because they were stuck inside. I mean, that doesn't help, but they traced it to like bots that were programmed to like when they were available just like swoop them up. And I was like, that's annoying. For all the people that actually want one.
If you were to ever like be like, hey, to people that think that the internet's a good thing, just give them this example. If there's a way for people to be evil and it's through the internet, they will do it. Doesn't matter how stupid it is, where it's buying Switches every single time they're available.
Yeah.
And now that what they're doing is so they can resell it on Amazon or different retailer stores for, I think I saw one that was like $600. I'm like, who's buying a Nintendo Switch for $600?
No.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
oh man,
Nintendo is talking about like upping their production to try to combat it, and because like Animal Crossing has been a huge success, so like they want to get it out for more people. but I know people at work that were like, I want to play it, but like I can't get it anywhere. And then you were telling me how you were looking for one for your brother because he didn't have any, and where he was at, he's like, oh, there's one in stock over here. Goes to the store, and he's like, yo, it's nowhere to be found. I was like, I told you, like there was no way you were getting one. But
Dude,
I don't know.
I looked for him, so he texted me while I was at work, and I was like, "Oh, dope! Yeah, I'll look and see if I can't find one near here." Because I have like 3 GameStops within range of where I live, and I was like, "Oh, sweet! I see 3 available," and it was like 2 in the red, blue, and 1 in the gray or whatever. And one was like refurbished, and I was like, "Okay, even if then people normally don't like to buy the refurbished one, so it'll probably work just the same." And like I called him and I was like, "Hey, do you want me to just go ahead and get this and I'll ship it to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I thought about it and I can't find it anywhere." I literally log on. It was probably like 30 minutes went by. All of them were sold.
Yeah, dude, they got eaten up by those bots probably.
It'd be one thing if it was like all of Amazon's like inventory or all of Nintendo's e-site gone. No, it is literally like Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, anywhere you can buy a Switch. These dudes have bots set up.
Nowhere
And
safe.
I honestly, I really hope that these assholes get stuck with 20 Switches at their house that they can't sell for
Yeah,
$600.
that would be great. So like Nintendo upping the production is trying to make it so where like these people will get stuck with the Switches probably because everybody will be able to get one again, so nobody's gonna buy them even at an upcharge of like, let's say you upcharge it by like $20. Like nobody's gonna be like, all right, like I'll get that when like they're now back in stock. So I don't know how they're gonna prevent the bots from continuing to swoop them though. Like they might have to start putting like extra verification, like more captchas or something, which would be kind of annoying, but we'll see.
Well, I thought Amazon said that they put that in place after the whole toilet paper hand sanitizer issue through third-party sales. And to see this happen again is kind of silly. Like,
I mean, I guess they do have other priorities with like they did come out and say like we're shutting down, or not shutting down, but we're delaying like all normal orders. We're trying to focus on the coronavirus thing. So like I'm not sure exactly what their day-to-days look like right now, like as far as getting those supplies out, but like I guess when they saw this Switch thing, they were probably like, well, the video games probably aren't as important as the hand sanitizer and other things. So they were like, yeah like just let that go.
That's fair. But like the thing that's funny is like, so Nintendo's gonna re-up. They said, hey, we're gonna knock out our production. We'll work on getting those stocked as soon as possible. And I think I even saw something like within weeks, like a couple weeks, that everything will be back to normal. And I was thinking like, that's a bold claim in the environment we're in, that a country, that Nintendo, where it's headquartered outside of the United States, is going to be like, don't worry, we got you guys. We have full confidence we'll restock everything in the next week or so. And I'm like, have you seen where we're at in the United States and our lockdown? I don't know if you can make that claim. So I'm wondering if in a week or so, if they, it might bite them that they made that statement.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, Illinois just got extended till May 30th for the stay-at-home order, so
May 30th?
he chokes on a drink. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. Like I plan to come there. I was planning to come there to Kansas City last weekend, and that got pushed back because of the current situation. So then I didn't want to just like cancel my flight. I wanted to push it back just in case it was open, and I pushed it back to like June, early June. But now we're going through late May. It's like I don't know how that early June's gonna look. Might have to push it back again, but I don't know.
I think Kansas is like May 14th. And Kansas City's mayor is like skeptical if that's going to happen or not. So
yeah, I mean, everybody's trying to be optimistic, but like I think it's better safe than sorry. So I don't know. I mean, we got our new set to chill here in, so we'll just be cool in it.
We're comfy. We're good. We ran out of coffee yesterday, like Keurig cups. that day of work with like no coffee, easily accessible, rough. Went
Because
from
you like
5 cups.
rely on coffee.
I mean, now that I'm working from home, I am downing coffee, and I had free coffee at my last job, and I'm still drinking more than I drank at the last job. I'm drinking at least 5 cups of coffee a day.
You should be rationing, son. Come on, what are you doing?
I mean, luckily we have like a French press, so like we had like ground coffee, but like it's a pain in the ass to like actually make versus just a Keurig cup where you just slam it and go. But
Slam it and go.
but it was I'm glad Stormy ordered like Walmart groceries like a couple days prior, so I picked it up today, and we're good on coffee front. Keurig cups are in, but there was a brief moment of panic. I was like, wow, if I ran out of coffee during all this, rough.
All right, before we get into our next topic, got some things to say. If you're liking the podcast, guys, and you're looking for ways to support, you can start by simply subscribing, hitting the bell for notifications, or on the podcast, just subscribe there, give us a rating, trying to get places. Also, we now have a Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/dark mode, you can get support through that and also get things back. So we have like special Discord channels for you to talk directly with us, or you can get private one-on-one chats like through Google Hangouts so we can ask questions, or we even have a tier for you to get on the show. So if you have interest in getting on the show, having an interview with us, or talk about some topics, that's an option. So big moves.
Yeah.
We'd appreciate any support.
We making them.
Don't forget too, you can start a podcast of your own too with Buzzsprout. We got a link in the description, and if you hit that link, you can get a $20 Amazon gift card. So that's another way to get in ahead. Cool.
Yeah, and if you guys sign up with Buzzsprout and you guys are working on a podcast, I mean, join in on that Discord, and you guys can always send us messages on advice of how we've gotten to where we're at. We're honestly not experts, but we at least have something out there, and we're working towards making it better and better. So we know that progress takes a lot of time. So if you guys do start and have questions, feel free to email us or go to our Discord through our Patreon page.
Also, the Discord isn't just locked to Patreon. That we do have the Discord in the description link, and you'll see it coming through the lower thirds every so often in our video. But there's just special channels that the patrons can get access to. So
cool.
Exclusive content. Look at that. So speaking of new exclusives, although I don't even know if this is an exclusive or not, do you see this game Stranded Deep coming out?
The hodgepodge of games. Yeah, I saw that.
Dude, this game is pretty much an exact rip of Subnautica, down to like we just changed the skin. Like
just a little bit.
It's funny.
I like the problem with survival games is you can argue that they all are like the same from all different standpoints, like the forest or Rust or anything like that. Like they're all crafting, you're by yourself, you need to make shelter kind of games. And it's funny about this one is like the release was supposed to say it's coming to Xbox and PS4. And so like the comment section was like, oh, this is interesting. And then like you'll see like a random dude like roast people like, it's been on Steam since like 2015. Get it together. Like,
wait, really?
Okay, dude. Like, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it was early access on Steam for forever.
But and Subnautica's been out for
Xbox.
A long time too.
Yeah, so it might be like, you know how like Pixar and DreamWorks have had like their competition every year, and you see the comparisons of like DreamWorks's Ants versus Pixar's Bugs Life, and like how they've had those comparisons. It might be that similar thing where somebody was working on the same idea, and Subnautica's like, we'll go underwater, and then Stranded Deep was like, we're gonna be above water.
Yeah, like you're building your stuff on land, and it's more like what's it called than anything else. So I don't know. Like I don't understand if this is gonna be something that takes off on the console now, or if it's gonna be just kind of like overlooked.
Now, I'm not an expert, and we have the non-experts giving expert advice segments throughout the time. But my non-expert expert opinion is that console gamers don't play survival games. I have a I mean, I don't really ever hear about that many console gamers that are like really big into like The Forest or um I don't play survival games, so I don't know DayZ or whatever, or Survival Arc. Those games, I don't think they really do that well on console. I think they do really well on PC because I think that's where a lot of early access lives is in PC because they don't really do early access on console. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
and with survival games like this, you have to do constant updates. And one thing console games don't do very well with is a game that needs that level of constant updating. So, I don't think it will take off. I think they're going to be stuck. They're going to be stranded deep.
Way to bring it full circle. Yeah, I mean, I like watching that trailer just there, like I saw elements of like Sea of Thieves with like the Kraken style things, and then I saw like Ark the Forest with just like the above ground look. And then like there's obviously the underwater aspect where he's swimming underneath and you got like predators coming at you like sharks and things. So I don't know. We'll have to see how it is. I don't think I'm gonna buy it because I only play survival games with like co-op, because those are kind of fun. But then I only then end up playing them for like 10-15 hours and I'm done. Like I played The Forest with my friend for probably like 20 hours and then I was off of it. And then like he tried to get me into Ark and I was just like, dude, I can't do it. Like I don't want it.
I just don't. I don't really have that much. I always think I'm gonna have more fun than I actually end up having. Thinking about the game and playing with others, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so much fun. We'll work together, and it's like, no, it's really not that much fun. You'll probably get farther in the game, and then I don't know where someone will kill your entire base or something. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
those are annoying.
Yeah, they don't really appeal to me that much anymore, or really ever. I don't really think I've really got into like a singular survival game. But
I don't know. I mean, I've had my fair share of them, but I kind of opt for the quicker ones. Like, I played a little bit of Don't Starve before, and like that one's just kind of like top down, and you don't. I don't know. It just feels like a little less hardcore than playing something like Ark and maybe Subnautica. And Subnautica is borderline a horror game. Apparently, when you get down deep underwater, like it gets kind of spooky. So I'm kind of like not in the mood for that. But I don't know. Maybe we could set up a stream on Facebook gaming. Yo, hold on. So they had news, right?
I'm out.
They had news that they released an app like Facebook gaming, and I'm over here thinking like, oh, they're getting into the streaming game, forgetting that they've been in it for a while. Like they've had their Facebook gaming platform through the Facebook like website for a few years now, but they're just talking about a mobile app. And I was like, oh, Facebook was a thing for streaming games.
Oof. Oh, that's rough. Like through all that stuff, I'm like, I think that they're just too late. They don't have enough marketing or advertising or really well-known knowledge around their platform, and it's too saturated of a market between YouTube and Twitch and Mixer. Like once you have a core 3, you can't really budge in with a fourth and be like, here, we're gonna be fine, we'll make it, and here's our mobile app. But even though nobody uses our regular app, no, it's not gonna happen.
I mean, I think Mixer came out after Facebook's gaming, and that like I don't know if just Microsoft backed it better, but they like went after people, like giving big deals to like, for instance, Ninja and Shroud, and we talked about this in an early episode of Dark Mode about the whole streaming wars. But like, for Facebook gaming to take off, they would need to do the same. Like they need to land a big person, because other than that, like if you go on Mixer and you're not watching Ninja or Shroud or like I don't even know, those are the two big ones. Like one of my favorites, King Gathalion, went there, but he's not a huge streamer. Like there's really not a lot going on, and even those big streamers now aren't pulling the same numbers they were on Twitch. Like Ninja, he's pulling like under 10K all the time, when previously it was like minimum 30. And it's like that's not the only thing with streaming, because you can be more profitable off of like loyal fans than just a lot of other fans, but he's still getting the money from Mixer. But it's just like, I feel like he might not be enjoying his time there as much as he might on Twitch with the experience. But he's just like, I have like other priorities with money. I don't know. So like, if Facebook did that too, I could see like them getting a little bit. Well, here, he's obviously doing better than us and most of the middle class. But I'm just saying that like when that like his wife got interviewed once and she was like, while he was on Twitch, like money obviously was the last thing on his mind. He was in a good spot. But then like when offered this, he was like, do I stay for like the fun experience or do I get the more? And I guess like she was like, we should be focusing on like our future, securing that, having kids and stuff. And then that was like what pushed him to like leave Twitch to get the bigger deal. And I'm like, I don't know how much truth there is to that.
I'm not buying that at all. That's such a phony interview. He's a family man. That's why he went to Mixer. Dude, he's getting paid at Twitch and he's now getting paid even more at Mixer. He's fine. He doesn't give a shit about which he was having more fun at Twitch. He's getting paid. He's fine. My thing is the reason why Mixer's competing with Twitch is Mixer had Microsoft and a console to back it. It immediately had good console integration where people could stream content immediately through Xbox Live. You could have no viewers and like no like actual hardware that actually made your content high quality, and you could hit stream and you could immediately stream anything you're playing through Mixer. And that's what it in my mind, it made it Twitch and Mixer and then YouTube. And then there's Facebook that has not a ton of already reputation of video content ingestion, right? They only started really moving into Facebook videos a few years ago and where that became all their feed. YouTube, that's their entire platform. Twitch, always our platform is you're just ingesting our video game media. And then Mixer is we're integrated and that's what we care about. Facebook's like, that was now our priority. So therefore, they have so much ground, even though they might have came out at the same time as Mixer, they have so much grounds to pick up to even get on level with YouTube, Mixer, or Twitch, in my opinion. Now, they might release this and they might have people watching it, but it's not going to sustain, in my opinion. I don't think enough people are going to download it. I think people are going to download it to see what it does, and then they're going to go to Twitch or they're going to go to Mixer. They're just going to go back to what they already do. People are liking the apps that they're already using, and Facebook's not really offering anything new. They're not offering anything better. So why download a new thing and learn a new thing when you could just keep? You already have. You're right. They need to contact people that they follow, because that's when people actually will switch over. They're not going to switch over because you have a cooler comment section. Like I don't know. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and I agree with you to the most point, but like, yes, I think what his wife said is a little bit like media front, like focus, like, oh, we're trying to look nice, but he's obviously not pulling the same kind of stuff he did on Twitch, and I think he's not having as much fun because like he's been complaining about how everybody's roasting him from playing other shit than Fortnite, and like he can't catch a break with that, and I'm just like, when I watch Shroud play, he doesn't even look like he's enjoying himself. And like, he's only pulling like, I don't know, 6,000. But then like, we got Twitch over here signing Dr. Disrespect, who's like one of the biggest on Twitch, to stay there. And cause he was openly stubborn about leaving. He was like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, they could offer me everything. He turned down a deal, and then Twitch came like, all right, thanks for being loyal. Here you go. But like, another thing that I just find weird that Mixer got so popular is like, oh, you're saying that Xbox made it so where you could just hit stream from the console. PS4 was already doing that, but to Twitch. So it's like they could have made their own Sony platform and then hyper focus that, but they were just like, nah, we're going to stick with Twitch. And then like Microsoft made it, but then they were just like, we're going to buy it, all the good people. And it's like, I don't really know how sustainable that is, because like like I said, there's only like 4 big ones on there. And it's like, obviously people don't just watch big streamers, they like to go for the smaller streamers, but like I find it more entertaining when I go into a chat that's like lively than a chat that's got just like 400 people for a Twitch streamer that would have had like maybe 6 on Twitch. And then like I went on Facebook gaming real quick just to check it out what it's like there. The UI is garbage. Now I can't actually verify the mobile app because the mobile app that just came out is actually on Android only. It's like the first time I've seen an app come out on Android first. But either way, their UI is like weird. The way it's laid out, like when the titles aren't on the bottom, they're like off to the top right corner, and like overlays were weird. And it's, I don't know if you can make it a dark theme, but it looks like Facebook does, and I don't like that. So, and plus it's also tied to your Facebook. So like, let's say you want to get on there, like if I wanted to type a comment, it's coming from my public face. Like it's not through an alias like all of Twitch and Mixer is.
Oh.
So I don't know if they're going to allow for a gaming account, like a front, but it's like, I don't want to be on there associating like all of that with like my public profile.
Yeah, that's
especially because like gamers always have their gamer tag, you know. It's just, it's weird.
It doesn't, at least when I looked at it, it doesn't seem like somebody that was a big fan of like watching video game streaming helped design that application, because they would know what was important to a lot of people that use this every single day.
It's clear that it was just like not a priority.
It was like, we need to get in that market, so let's put something out there. And then they did, and they're like, it's not that great, let's make it a mobile app too, see what that helps. And they're like, we can't get on the iOS store. All right, we'll just put it on the Google Play Store and we'll call it a day.
They said the iOS one's coming like later on, but I don't know. I find it interesting, especially because the iPhone app seems to run better for Facebook and have like more animations, and like, at least like when I had an Android phone, I was always jealous of the iPhone app, and now I don't even use Facebook really, so it's like I could care less, or I couldn't care less, but I don't know.
I literally check Facebook once a day, and all I do is look at my memories and how ugly I was in 2011. Like looking back at my statuses from like 2011, I'm like, what was I doing? Like I just hate everything about them. But yet here I am, still checking the same statuses every day. 6 years ago, you said the stupidest shit. Hey, 7 years ago, you said, hey, anybody up? I'm bored. 7 years ago, you said, hey, text me. I'm bored. Let's go hang out. Who's got a gamer tag? Stupid Facebook statuses.
I never had Facebook in high school and like middle school. I got it just to connect with people in college, so I don't have those embarrassing previous year statuses. I just, if you want,
I'll screenshot them because they're rough.
You showed me a couple of them. They're pretty bad, but I don't know. We got another pretty bad thing to talk about before we move on. Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, the Peaky Blinders.
So excellent TV show, right? Excellent TV show.
Great, excellent TV show.
But they're making a video game, and we should already just be like, full stop.
They're making a video game, and I had no idea that they were making a video game. And out of nowhere, I just see on my feed, new gameplay trailer dropped for Peaky Blinders game. I'm like, since when? And what? And I looked at it, and the worst part is it's a game style of a game I would probably be interested in playing. And it's also a TV show I love. And the combination is absolute shit garbage. I was watching the gameplay trailer, and like, it just doesn't look fun. It looks like a kind of like a kid game for a really mature storyline. You just sneak around. There's like enemy vision, and you control like 5 people in your party are different characters from the show, and each character of the show has different abilities. Like you could pay off cops and stuff like that with Tommy, and do all different. Like you're supposed to be like, you know, gangsters or whatever, and it being a turn base and like what would you even call that like genre of
Is it
like
wait?
a
It's
stealth
not
game?
turn. It's not turn based, right? I
Oh
thought
right,
it. I thought it's
it's just like a
like
stealth.
yeah. It's like the isometric view, like top down, just point and click weirdness. Like for those of you that are looking on YouTube, like you can see this right now. Like this is a very gritty TV show that I don't know, like it's played with like a rough filter, like brutal kind of action, and then now they got this like cartoony, top down, ugly looking weirdness going on that I don't like. It
It
doesn't
looks
fit
like
the
a
same
mobile
vibe.
game.
Yeah, but it's a
It
PC.
looks like a mobile game.
I
I'm so
just
disappointed because I didn't even know this was a thing, and I didn't even know what my expectations were if they were gonna make a game because I didn't know they were making a game. And it's not this. I'll tell you that. It's definitely not this. They could have made basically like the Mafia games. They should just watched all those Mafia games because they were pretty successful. And they're like, Peaky, let's just put Peaky Blinders on it. And even that I would have been like okay with.
but see now I wonder if that's why they didn't do that because like some people might have just immediately roasted it like this is just reskin Mafia, and then they were like let's try to go a different route, but then like if they went a third person video game that it would be called Mafia, but then if it's like we can't first person, I feel like would lose the sight of it being Peaky Blinders because you're not seeing the characters. So then they're like, what else can we do? Top down. And then it's just like they took an L making that call. I don't know. Either way, it just doesn't look like something that you'd want to play.
I just wish I just didn't see this and just didn't know. And it was back into that world where I didn't think there was a Peaky Blinders game coming out. Ugh.
Yeah, I guess that's a little bit of a tease for you. I never finished the show. Like I've seen like the first season and I'd want to watch more, but I've been wrapped up in other things too. But I could see being extremely disappointed knowing like, oh, Peaky Blinders game's coming out, and then watching this trailer and then just being just like punched in the face. Like this is garbage. I don't know.
Well, like at first I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Like, you know, you never know. And then as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, they're not really gonna do anything like violent. Okay, it's kind of cartoony. Oh, okay, the abilities are kind of dumb. And it's just you navigating through maps. Like it's just so simple. They could have like done the Telltale game style, maybe even.
Oh, yo, I didn't even think about that. Because as I'm sitting here looking at this, it looks like they're editing a video. Like it has a toolbar on the bottom that looks like Premiere Pro or something, and they're like rewinding time and going forward and clipping. It's like weird. But if they made it like a Telltale game where they had the nice cinematics and everything else, oh my gosh, that's such a missed opportunity, man.
It's a big hate to see it.
I don't know what they were doing. That's disappointing.
What studio is even doing that? Because I'm like never buying anything from them again.
Dude, I couldn't tell you. Like, I think it's some smaller company, but
I bet they were so stoked when they finally bought the license and like rights to the Peaky Blinders show. They're like, guys, we got it made. We have a super popular TV show. We're gonna make a successful game. Our studio's gonna make it. Garbage.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just a weird judgment call. But I think they said something about. Now you got me thinking about Telltale games. I think they said something about a second Wolf Among Us coming out, like chapter 2 or whatever. And I have no details on that further. It's been so long since I've actually like seen the. I don't know. I don't remember if it was a rumor or if it was like we've announced it's in development. But like if that came out, I would be on that in a heartbeat because I played the first one like when I got it for free in like a PlayStation Plus or something because I had never really known about it, and then I ended up liking it a ton. And then I was like, dude, I want more.
Awesome.
And they were like, we're not doing anymore. And I was like, what? And then now I think they changed their mind. So I don't know.
The Batman games were great. I don't know if you ever played those, but
oh yeah,
they
had
really
Telltale. Good. Yeah, I didn't play them, but that's cool.
You know, it's stuff that like it's weird because this game, if if it wasn't like Peaky Blinders and like I just like peeked around the corner and saw somebody watching this gameplay trailer, just the look of how the game feels and like how it would go, I would probably have an interest into going into that genre. But now, like, I don't know who the hell I am because now I'm like looking at this, I'm like, this is stupid. Like, and now I'm like, and now I'm actually a fan of Warzone, Call of Duty, and like playing a first person shooter. I don't know what the hell is going on in 2020.
Wait, hold on. What's that? You want to rewind that back? Don't just speed past like that. You didn't say that. What?
I am actually a fan of Call of Duty Warzone, and it has blindsided me so hard on how much I enjoy actually playing it.
But like, why though? What changed your mind?
Okay, for one, playing like PUBG, let's just put an example. PUBG was like the last like battle royale game I really had an interest or played. And then I was like, I'm off first person shooters because you'd spend like 40 minutes to get to like towards the end game, maybe, and you get all this cool equipment, and then I don't know where sniped or some shit would happen, right? This huge map. And all that effort, you like died at number 30. Call of Duty Warzone, as long as you have a squad of people, which I have like 2 to 4 people that I could rotate in and out and actually play with, it's a ton of fun because the matches go by quicker. For one, you can get through more games. You get, in my opinion, you get equipment quicker than you would in PUBG. Less management of your equipment. You're kind of just you're more of just like, let's squat up and like actually work through the game. The maps are a little bit more condensed, and like you're not like running from like most games where you're just running outside the circle for forever. This game's like, if you're outside the circle and the gas is on you, you're pretty much gonna die. So you actually have to manage. And I do, because it makes the games go quicker, and it's less like you can't just camp. So you're not just gonna like randomly run by a building and somebody just kills you outside the zone. It's like everyone is working their way in.
Well, let me say this. I appreciate the fact that they have the gas mask so you can survive longer. And if you don't have it, like, it's deadly. But like, they don't even give you a chance if you're caught in the circle. Like, let's say you got to run for 30 seconds. You have no way to like, in like, let's say Fortnite or PUBG, you can heal yourself up and then get into the circle like with no health, basically, and then like go revamp. But this game is like, no, like you have no chance unless you have a gas mask, which I guess you just have to get used to. But I wasn't enjoying that.
I think for me, it's like I respect their decision to just like double down. Like, they just don't want that gameplay. They want it to be very, in my opinion, tactical, and like you can't slip up. Like, same thing in PUBG, you can't really slip up too much, but this game is like, you can't just like kind of play by luck. You have to kind of like be managing the map as you go. And I kind of like that, and I like the guns, and like that you can level up your guns, like how because I actually used to love Call of Duty multiplayer. So like, having this as a free version to play the Call of Duties without having to buy a $60 game every year is kind of convenient. And I can play on PC and Xbox and switch in between the accounts. Super convenient. And I don't know, it's honestly surprised me how much I actually enjoy playing the game. It also doesn't help that within 3 games of playing, I got a victory with a squad.
Oh, so that definitely had an effect on you liking it, 100%.
But I've lost like 15 in a row since then. But like,
all right, so here's my problem though. You're saying that you like it when it's like you can't slip up as much and you got to manage the map and be more aware. But like, those were some of the things that were like your key points of why you left first person shooters. And now you're turning around and calling it why you want to play this one. So maybe they just implement it better in this Call of Duty and like you're just feeling it. But it's just funny to hear you say those reasons when that was specifically why you left other games, maybe such as like Overwatch or Battlefield.
I think this one, there's less bullshit of like why you like. I can't really blame anything other than my own skills at the end of the day if I like get caught out.
False.
Don't say the PC cheaters.
No, I'm not talking about the PC cheaters. I mean, like, I just, through my own experience and watching other people stream, I can definitely tell that there are people that might hear this and be like, there is definitely as much, if not more, bullshit. For instance, like, I'm running around the corner. I'm actually fully around the corner, but the server lag has it so where the damage is still hitting me and I die after being around the corner. That happens to me, happens to like Dr. Disrespect and other big streamers. And yeah, there's definitely a fair amount of bullshit. So it's funny to hear you say that.
Maybe, maybe it's a matter of just like, for one, I think that one factor that has to be addressed is this is like the first game I played back on the console. And for like maybe at least 4 to 5 months. That might have a factor in it. Maybe I'm playing with my friends I haven't played games with in a long time since PUBG or Madden or the last Call of Duty. So maybe that has like a nostalgic feel. But I think the problems I had with PUBG where I didn't feel like I was very good or talented or skilled, I'm picking up in Call of Duty, and I feel like this is the first time in a battle royale game I actually can compete. So maybe that competitive edge I feel like I have in the game and multiple matches in a row getting far in the game has caused me to like it more. Just getting to the end can be kind of challenging in PUBG and Fortnite without having like certain knowledge of either the map or just end game tactics. Especially with Fortnite's stupid build system, I can't get over. Anyways, um, but I think it's just a matter. I think all those combinations together has caused the game to have a really positive feedback. Who knows? Maybe in a couple weeks, I'm off Warzone, but when I finally said, I'm done with first person shooters, it's funny how like I'm back and like, now that Valorant's out and I really want those codes and I pull it up every day. Like today, a solid 4 hours of watching. And I don't know how much I've compiled in the past, 5 days or whatever, but I just want a key, dude. I just want to play it. I just want to get a feel for it. But I guess it's good that I have to wait because now I can play Warzone and then I can keep playing Blasphemous, which is a lot of fun and is honestly challenging me a lot lately, and it's been so far pretty good. But I honestly though I haven't put too much time into Blasphemous. I've been working on our potential website coming up and coding that. So
Bro, forgot
that's
about
been
that.
taking a lot of my time, but yeah.
We'll have a website hopefully by the time this episode releases. I almost forgot to mention that. Okay. Thanks for catching my slack. We'll definitely have like a central location for you to reach all of these links that we keep announcing so you don't have to like memorize where to look. They'll just hopefully be darkmodepodcast.com. You go there and everything will be spilled out for you. So hopefully we get that done by this weekend. If not, shortly thereafter.
It's gonna be, if anything, this weekend it might be like not everything done completely, but it'll be hosted this weekend. So
yeah, so we've been putting in work there, but how about your actual job? How's that been going? You had a couple more days to get settled in. Everything good?
It's good, man. I will say I think the intern effect has finally kind of worn off in my my adult career so far. I'm kind of
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm kind of working with some guys some developers that are kind of closer to my age, which so far in my career I haven't had like one-to-one, like like he's 24, I'm 20. Like it's been like they might be in their 30s or something like that, or 40s. There's nothing wrong with that, but like once you start working closer and closer to your age group, everyone kind of is on the same level. And when I say intern effect is, interns are young and they're always kind of treated like this, where I'm up here and the intern's down here. So it's kind of nice to not have the age gap and to kind of, I don't know, kind of restart and kind of be on the same level.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had it where like you might not be as I shouldn't say respected, but like they don't really value like your input as much because you're younger, you know, you're more inexperienced, which is fair. But like once you start getting around people who are your actual age, I think everything seems to kind of relax. Like people seem to be like just more trusting of you being around their age in like maybe the early 20s, whereas if you're, you know, you're talking with someone who's been in the company for several years, and you might say something to them like advice or just like an approach on a project, and that like they don't really accept your opinion immediately. Just I don't know, like the newbie effect. So
Yeah,
I don't know, it's just kind of interesting that way.
I have a degree. But uh you know, and sometimes people do it without even knowing that they're doing it. Which sucks, but like if you or anybody like are going through that where you're getting frustrated where it keeps getting brought up and you don't want to getting brought up, the best thing I found, and I mean it's just happened on different careers I've been in, is like, let's say you're not actually an intern, you're either a part-time employee or a full-time employee with a different thing, and they call you intern, shut that down. Like, you can't do the pity laugh. If it really bothers you, don't do the pity laugh. Don't do the, oh yeah, that's funny. Just cut it off and say what your title is and be like, no, I'm not actually an intern, whoever said it. And I mean, obviously do it politely, and if they do it multiple times, maybe confront them about it. But um yeah, like if it really does bother you and you find that it is impacting your either say and how things are going and you aren't an intern, um address it immediately. Don't, because as soon as you laugh at it or you do like the pity, like, oh, that was so funny, it becomes widely okay to, and then becomes a nickname. Even though they know you're not an intern, you are now back to being an intern.
Yeah.
um Sometimes that can happen, which is frustrating. So
I haven't had as much of a problem with it, but there have been instances where, like you said, somebody might not know that they're doing it, or they might not like outwardly say it. But I've found that just like in instances where someone might not be completely confident in your skill set yet, you could either ask to take on a different, you know, amount of work, like can I take on this project, or like just start helping them out on something, and then like when you land or complete that, like usually you gain more respect from that person. So there's been times where at first they weren't really sure, like at one of the clients I worked at, what to give me, and after completing like the busy work first project, like then they started giving me a little bit more. And then there was a time where I almost like, it wasn't intentional. I like somebody had rolled off and I needed to just take over something. Like, and I wasn't ready for it. And I was intern affecting myself. I was like, yo, that is not something I'm ready to do. But then I just like forced myself to do it. Get like, we figured it out. And then like once that was like delivered, they were like, yo, like you're actually decent. Like, it obviously didn't say that to me, but I at least got praise. I was like happy to see that they started respecting me. So if you proactively ask for that sort of stuff, you don't want to ask for too much or, you know, crash and burn, but
yeah,
taking that risk to take on something that will be impressive to your colleagues can help mitigate that effect.
yeah, and it's not to say that like all interns are treated this way, but like, let's say you are in an internship and you feel that disconnect or it gets brought up a lot, that's a great way to like bridge that gap. And maybe don't start out immediately with a huge project, maybe start with like one or two extra things a task a day, or at the end of the day, you know, going by everyone's desk, be like, hey, anybody got anything that's like blocked or you need me to take on so I can help you guys lessen your guys' load as well. Those are easy steps to bridging that gap, and then hopefully getting rid of that intern effect. So
Yeah. Because I've never been in the spot where like you're I don't know if this even still happens or it has happened, like if this is just the movie thing, but like where the intern is just given like the busy work of like getting the coffees and the other like office work that way, or just like you get shafted with even not work like that, but like they only give you like the crappy projects or something. Like I haven't been in that scenario. It's always just been like my input isn't immediately recognized, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not even sure if that's just like something that you have to deal with having your first job or your second job. You know what I mean? Like where you are technically a freshman, so like you need to work your way in, and then only after you get those years of experience do you don't really have to prove yourself anymore. You just do it.
Right. And like you can use that as evidence going further so that way you don't accidentally go back into the intern effect. And like,
Yeah.
it's funny because even though I was an intern at Caterpillar, I wasn't supposed to be in that certain department. It was like it was a mistake that like it was supposed to be a college intern was supposed to go to this position and they accidentally put a high schooler into that position. So I was even further deep into the intern effect and they didn't even know it yet. So like I had to like prove myself each step of the way. And once you get to a certain point, it levels out and you just have to make sure that you know where you're at and you believe in yourself. So that way, if somebody either downgrades what you did, you can either bring it up and be like, hey, no, take my opinion into effect because I have this much of experience and I know what I'm talking about. You don't have to just kind of roll with it. But obviously, if you're brand new, don't be coming out the gates in the first meeting you're in and be like, no, I heard in the class once. No, don't do that. But you work your way to that. And then, because it is easy sometimes, especially in IT, because everything's so technical and you really don't know sometimes the coworkers you work with where because their knowledge range could be anywhere from like, novice to super expert. And you wouldn't know off the gate. So you have to really be careful where you take your stand on decisions or opinions or asking certain questions and make sure you don't go backwards on like where people trust you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I was in when I actually had my internship when I was in college still, we had a couple of different talks from other people in the company, and one of the women that spoke, she said like her talk was on being assertive, and it wasn't in the sense of just like being rudely like aggressive or whatever. It was just like make yourself known instead of like taking the back seat. And she told a story about how she was like the new person or like in a lower end position, and she was in a meeting with higher ups and they were asking for people to do something, and like it was silent for like 5-10 seconds, and then she just spoke up and was like, I'll do it. And everybody gave her that sideways look like, huh? Like who? But then like she was like, I mean, I'm serious, like I'll do it. And then it ended up like they worked with her to get it to happen, and like she got a lot of recognition for it. So I can't remember what exactly the task was, but it was something that was like pretty challenging. It was like I think it was like a business trip where they had to go and like I don't know if it was like negotiations or something, or maybe it was a talk, but like she did it and it went well. So like that kind of thing paid off. So I don't know.
Yeah, and you have to take an effect that like this is if you want to get out of the intern effect, you're gonna have to put in a lot of effort. Like it's not gonna be easy to get out of it because it could be easy to coast as an intern, be like just take the punches and just do the level of work you're comfortable with, and just roll and coast through your internship. But if you're like, I want to work for this company maybe eventually, and I want to prove to them that I could be on their level, then yeah, doing something like that where you're assertive and like taking on a new challenge could be really successful for you, but you have to put the effort that matches that risk. And if you don't feel like you have that motivation or even drive within the company, it could be an easy way for you to look even more foolish by failing at a super high priority project. So you gotta level out like where you're at with your own talents. And again, just believe in yourself with where your knowledge is at. That's key.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about confidence too. Like I I guess when you're in that first job, it's always tough to like just be fully confident. But like as you get more comfortable with the work you're doing and the people, the confidence will naturally build. but yeah, you never want to just kind of like roll, like get comfortable in that spot because then that's the perfect way to slide into it again, or just never leave it. like yeah, it wouldn't be very easy to get out of that effect, but like I guess you've had more of an actual experience with that effect than I have, where it's been more like at the forefront, where I kind of just like, oh, like I guess that's kind of just where I'm at.
Luckily, I never was like the go get me a coffee intern. They've always like at least respected to where I had normal tasks, and I just had to work to bigger and better tasks and go from there. But yeah, I can't. I've never been the go get a coffee intern, thankfully. And if you are one of those, I'm sorry, that must be rough. And hopefully, you work your way out of that intern effect. And you
I don't know how to advise that part. Like, I don't have any non-expert advice on that part.
Start small. When they ask for a grande, get them a venti, and they're like, "Oh, whoa!" And then
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's gonna work. They're probably gonna keep you there because you keep plugging them.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, the intern's at it again. Thanks, bro." Oh man.
All right, so I know you asked me a question on Slack today. It was just kind of a little fun topic. You wanna ask it for everyone to know what's going on?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited because I really want to know what like your answer.
I don't know if you're ready for my answer. I don't know if you're ready for my answer. But right, go ahead and ask the question.
If you could be a part of any movie franchise, what would it be and what character would you play?
Does it have to be a character, or can it just be like a role? Because I feel like I don't want to replace that character. I just want to like be in a situation similar.
To make it more interesting, you have to be that character.
Okay, let me use an example because I know for a fact I've never seen these. Harry Potter. I don't want to just be Harry Potter, because like if I'm in there, I feel like I'm gonna ruin the whole thing. You choose
like a supporting. Yeah. That's the whole.
I don't want to be.
The whole second
I don't want to be Ron, or I don't want to be Hermione. Like I want to be a fourth person that comes in that unit.
Okay, there is a fourth person. I mean, like, there's tons of characters.
Oh, okay.
That's like the other element of this question, because like you could just pick like Game of Thrones, but I want to throw in like you have to sub out somebody's performance and you replace it, and you either have to know the lines. It could be something super minor like.
Okay. I get it. I got it. Okay, you got to go first. Okay. You got to go first.
No, I want to know you're it.
All right. I'll go first. I was just joking. So.
Okay.
I thought about this for a bit, and I even like just Googled like popular movie franchises, and I thought like, okay, yeah, it would be cool to be a part of something like Star Wars or like Marvel Cinematic Universe or like Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings kind of thing. But I thought about like how much peril they go through, and like the mythic element of it would just be kind of annoying, just to like, if I'm going from my normal life to then going to some like crazy superhero mythical weirdness, like probably not for me. But that got me thinking about, I guess this actually is going to tie in nicely with the fact you said I got to replace a character, because I started thinking about Mission Impossible, and I was like, dude,
shit,
it would be so cool to be in those movies. They got the coolest tech. Like I remember watching Ghost Protocol, I think it was, and he had like a fake hallway that was like simulating like with the camera, an empty hallway as he's behind it trying to hack into a door or something. And I'm like, it would just be so cool to have that kind of stuff and do all those things. But then I guess for me to replace a character, I would replace Tom Cruise, because he's a very divisive character. People either love or hate Tom Cruise. So like,
there is no in between.
Yeah, I don't ever hear a person be like, yeah, he's all right. They either love him or hate him. But I don't know. I guess I wouldn't say I love him, but I do like him. Like he's kind of a weird dude, like especially outside of acting with the whole Scientology thing. But he's like, I think he's decent, but I can see how people get annoyed because he's like in a lot of stuff. But let's say I was a good actor. I could put a spin on some cool espionage action, doing all those cool things. But I think that would be really cool to be in Mission Impossible.
That's fair. Like, I I'm completely baffled. I did not think you would go to Mission Impossible.
See, I told
Ever.
you you'd be
Like,
surprised. What? All right, let me
not
ask you this:
gonna be-
what did you think I would go? Like, just maybe like like a range of potential options.
I thought you would probably go with like maybe something more science fictionist. Like, I don't know. Like, I now see the technology side of Mission Impossible and being cool, but like, I don't know. For some reason, I thought maybe you'd go like Matrix or something like that, like on the leading
Yeah,
edge of like mind bending.
that I mean, sure, but then like I'm thinking about it practically, where like, wow, life really sucks outside of the Matrix. Let's say I had to replace a character in the Matrix, I'd probably be the dude that was like, ignorance is bliss. He just bites into the steak. What's that dude's name? The bald guy? He's like Hank or something.
Tank.
Tank. That's his name. Cause like that. I don't know. The real world was pretty shitty, man. I'm taking the blue pill or whatever the pill was that wasn't going to see these sentinels and stuff. But I don't know.
Yeah. But as for my answer, I don't know. Do you have a guess for what I was gonna go with?
See, you're a wild card because there's so many like franchises that you're into. Like you could easily go the MCU, you could go Harry Potter, you could go like medieval times. Like you could be like real like I don't know. I'm gonna throw out Lord of the Rings.
Wrong, but it was up there on like my options. I will say that.
Is it Star Wars?
I ended up no, it wasn't even Star Wars because I don't want to replace anything, and I don't want to be a part of the prequels. So
He's like, I don't want to be a part of something so bad. Just some. I don't mind them, but that's just me.
I don't know. I really struggled with it because I thought through Harry Potter, and I thought it'd be really cool to be a part of that like 7 movie journey from the beginning to the end, and like all the press you got to do, being a part of I think all like the equipment and like scalability of like the quality from those 7 years, or actually 8 because it's 8 movies. But
Wait, okay, hold on. Are you, when you're saying be a part of these franchises, are you talking about like as an actual actor standpoint or like as if these things were real life?
oh shit,
Because I came at it as if these things were real life because that's why I didn't choose the mythical stuff. I wasn't saying it was annoying because it would be hard to film it.
That's 2 different questions then. So there's the
Man.
standpoint that you're an actor in the franchise or you're living in it as a
Okay,
character.
well, let me say, if I'm living in it, Mission Impossible. If I'm acting in it, MCU 100%. All right, go ahead.
Okay. If I'm living it, now I got to really think about this. If I'm acting it, I was thinking MCU, but being like one of the Shield agents, like Colby Smolder's character in that. Like, just like we're there, we have a few lines, but we aren't like pivotal. Like, we're not going to keep the guys here on set for like days because I keep messing up my lines. I have like 4 lines in the movie. I'm just here to soak it in.
You would be like that funny TSA agent dude in and Get Out, like but for MCU.
Well, then I thought, well, what if I was TJ Miller's character on Deadpool?
Oh
The
yeah,
bartender dude. I was like, that would be a lot of fun. But ultimately I was like, okay, I think I would have to go with being a part of the MCU. So I'll be the Shield agent that does like a few lines. I figured, is it Agent Carlson? Is that his name? Right?
don't remember.
Can't remember. Either way, that guy that was in the first Avengers, but he like dies or whatever. Spoiler alert.
You can't say
But,
spoiler alert afterwards.
So I thought that would be the one I act in, so there's less pressure on me as an actor, and I can still have a costume and experience everyone and the sets and everything, right? And then I figured if I'm gonna live in it, though,
Don't say figured
man,
like you thought about it, because I just sprung that spin zone on you right now.
I know, and it's honestly difficult because I want to say Lord of the Rings, but that's terrifying as shit. Think
Yeah,
about
that
it.
all-seeing eye of Sauron, like probably not, dude. I'm not trying to have some like
Yeah,
omnipotent evil dude watching me all the time.
like I'm good. Um,
I'm good.
you know what? I gotta go with X-Men. I would want to be part of the X-Men franchise, even though I don't like the movies. But if I'm living in it, I don't have to worry about its actual world.
All
I would
right,
want to be
so
one of the X-Men.
which one would you be?
Which
Which kind of
one?
power? Because I'm thinking about what I would be in the MCU.
If I had to pick one of the X-Men that I would want to be is Nightcrawler. He's badass.
Would you want to look like that though?
I mean, might as well
He
dumb it down
goes,
at that point.
I don't care. I shrug.
What MCU hero would you be?
All right, so this is tough, but I think I have an answer. My favorite character is Iron Man, but I don't want to be the snarky, like, narcissistic Tony Stark. I want to be. I think I would choose to be probably Spider-Man because he's under his wing in this universe. So like he gets access to all of his tech and he gets like badass suits still. So like I would be able to do the whole like swing around Manhattan thing, but then I also get like the iron suit with the spider legs. Like that's badass. So that's where I'm at.
That's fair. Yeah. That's a good answer. And then you can dabble in the Spider-Verse too.
That was my next answer, dude. Because I was like, I could go all around, hop around, experience different things. Like, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, but we gotta be careful because anytime I bring up Marvel, I want to do Marvel versus DC, and that's for a later episode. I'm real brushing up the research on that.
Real pumped about that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for that question. That was pretty fun. Like, I don't think about that kind of stuff all the time, but when you sprung it on me, I like went deep and into deep thought about like I said, I came at it from a practical standpoint and I answered a question that you didn't even know you had an angle to answer. Like you were like thinking about acting and I'm like living, and it was just funny.
And you know, I think of these questions all the time though. So because if I did do Harry Potter acting, right? I'm Neville Longbottom. I know that doesn't apply to you because you have yet seen Harry Potter, which is ridiculous. But Neville Longbottom's like one character that like doesn't have that many lines per movie, and at the end he kind of becomes a badass. But even then, he still doesn't have like that many lines. So
yeah, I mean, I can't choose a character besides like the very main ones. But I was the golden snitch in high school for our homecoming pep rally. I dressed up in a golden leotard and ran around the school while everybody was running with brooms. I didn't last very long though because someone ditched their broom and just tackled me. Like they were supposed to rip a flag off me. They were supposed to rip a flag off me while holding the broom. And I was like, oh, nobody's going to touch me. The dude within 10 seconds of me getting on the field just like threw the broom and just tackled me. I was like, that's bullshit. They didn't even call a flag or a penalty or anything like legality wise for the school. Like you can't do that. They were just like, yeah, it's over. I'm like, that's bullshit, man.
So I'm gonna phrase this very specifically because I know it pisses you off when people are like, yo, you need to watch Harry Potter because that makes you want to not watch it even more. So would you watch Harry Potter for the podcast without any pressure from me or anybody else?
There's a chance, like in the future, like distant future, like no time soon. But like let's just say on a lazy afternoon when you're here in Chicago and we're like, hey, got nothing else to do, and then it's just sneakily put on. I don't know. I mean, I can't be held accountable for what I might do.
It sounds scandalous the way you make it phrase. Like
yeah, because I'm never gonna just be like, let's watch it. It's time. It's gonna have to be like, all right, it's happening.
Okay.
No, but don't force it though, because I know given that circumstance you're gonna force it. Please do not let Stormy know, because then she's gonna freak out like, oh my god, there's hope, and then she's gonna want to watch it again with me, and I'm just like not trying to like crush any dreams out here because I know how much it means to her. So
you definitely won't be able to watch it in the same room with her. It'll be too much. It'll be overloaded with information.
Like I honestly would probably hate it if I watched it with someone who was a fanatic, just because like they would try to like explain it all or like hope my reactions are great, and I would just be like, yeah, I mean it's all right. Like I don't want to let someone down like that because it's just gonna be not a fun experience.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's gonna do it for the episode.
All right. That was beefy.
It was beefy. So yeah, appreciate the listens, everyone, the watches on YouTube. Stay tuned. We got big moves coming. I hope you like the set. If you like that kind of stuff, let us know in the comments. We'll try to make it smoother because I know we ran into a little bit of issues with just the logistics of it. I'm kind of new. I'm over here trying to do it all live with the Stream Deck.
You literally bought it today.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I was gonna do it, but I didn't want to do it with the keyboard. I wanted a dedicated thing because it's like I was running into issues with using hotkeys in another program for a different program. So I don't know. But yeah, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, our website coming up. Everything will all be in the darkmodepodcast.com website.
Yep.
Keegan's like, I coded that shit.
I don't have anything else to say. I don't know. You said it all.
For sure. All right, guys. We'll catch you in the next one.
Later, guys.